Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. My name is Adeeb Syahmi Bewan Khairul Hazrin and I'm from class EC1104K. So today, I want to show you 5 experiments that I will conduct, which is 1. Water content determination, particle density, falling heat test, dry sieving, and last, sand replacement. Hope you guys enjoy. So, the first experiment that I will conduct is water content determination.
First, we must make sure that the tray is clean and then put it on the weight balance, and then we record the mass. After that, we put the soil sample in the tray, and we do the same thing to the other tray. After that, we put the tray with soil on the weight balance and calculate the mass. After that, we spread the soil on the tray using the trowel. After done spread the soil in the tray, we put the tray under the sun and leave them for 24 hours. After 24 hours, we put the tray on the weight balance and calculate the mass of each tray. So after done doing this experiment, we can determine the water content in the soil.
And then, let's continue with particle density experiment.
So the first thing is, we need to put the density bottle and the stopper on the weight balance and calculate the data. After that, we open the stopper and use spoon and put the soil about 10 to 20 gram of soil in the density bottle. Then we put back the stopper on the density bottle and then put it on the weight balance and calculate the data. And then we take the distilled water and put the distilled water in the density bottle, about 3/4 of the density bottle. After that, we put back the stopper and then we need to shake the density bottle about 5 minutes. Then we need to put the density bottle into the vacuum, but we need to open the stopper first to avoid air bubble. We leave the density bottle in vacuum for 1 hour. After 1 hour, we take out the density bottle from the vacuum, and then we need to fill the density bottle with distilled water and pour it like this to avoid the air bubbles. We weigh the density bottle and calculate the data. After the experiment, we can determine the specific gravity after collected all the data.
So now, I will do the falling heat test experiment.
So first thing, we need to use the scissors and cut the bottle head until it becomes like this. And then we use a needle and make a hole at the bottom of the bottle. And then we put the soil sample into the bottle that we have custom made. And don't forget to compact the soil in the bottle. Then use the remarks to mark the level on the bottle and mark it as M1, M2 and M3. Then we fill the bottle with water until the full of the bottle, and then we wake the soil after it has saturated. After the soil was saturated, fill again water until M1 marks, and then we start observing the time of water from M1 to reach M2 and then M2 to reach M3. So in this experiment, we can calculate falling head test permeability.
Okay, so now I will continue to make the sand replacement experiment. Okay, so for this experiment, first we need to dig the soil using the trowel and make sure the soil that you dig doesn't goes out from the pots. And then use a brush to gather all the soil on the box. And put the soil sample into a plastic. Then you fill in the hole with Ottawa sand until the ground surface becomes flat again. And put the excess of the Ottawa sand into another plastic. Take the Ottawa sand and soil plastic and record the mass and collect the data. So with this experiment, we can determine dry density of soil at the site. So the last is, I will conduct the dry sieving experiment. So for this experiment, first we need to take the mass of each pen. And then we take the soil and put it on a pen. And after that, take the data of the pen with the soil. Then we put all the pen in the shaker and make sure the pen at the bottom was the biggest pen. But the pen that contains soil in it, we put it on the top of the pen. And then we switch on the shaker for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, we put out all the pen from the shaker, and then we calculate the weight of every sieve and collect the data.
So with this experiment, we can determine the particle size of the soil.